This person says, imagine a political movement that can't win if ID is required. Obviously, he's referring to Democrats or liberals being opposed to voter ID laws. Imagine a political movement that can't win if ID is required. So the first thing I would say to you is it can win. It has. Voter ID hasn't been required this entire time, and Democrats have won multiple elections on various levels. So the premise of your entire statement is false to begin with. But more importantly, let me play the game. If I can, if I'm allowed. Imagine a political movement that has to seat fake slates of electors in every swing state to lie to the federal government and say their guy won rather than the person who actually won. Imagine that. Imagine a political movement that is dependent on limiting the number of people who actually vote. Cutting back on polling locations, cutting back on the ways that you can vote, cutting back on early voting, limiting people's votes. Imagine a political movement that can't win unless they limit people's ways to vote, limit the number of people voting. Imagine a political movement that has to rely on you believing their narrative that voting in this country is not secure. It's all rigged. Imagine a political movement that has to rely on that in order to win. We will have true representation in this country when we reach 100% voter turnout, when every single person of voting age in this country is registered and exercises their right to vote. That is something the Republican Party has been fighting against my entire life. Liberals, my entire life, have been voting or have been pushing to expand the vote, make sure that there are more polling locations, make sure that there are more polling, more ways to vote early, to vote by mail, to cast your vote when you can't get out on election day. Republicans have been doing the exact opposite. Imagine a political movement that can't win unless it suppresses the vote. I mean, hell, imagine a political movement that needs antiquated systems in place in order to win, right? You guys have won the popular vote twice in the last 40 years. One of Bush's elections and one of Trump's. Twice in 40 years. You guys need to rely on the Electoral College to get shit done, to actually elect a president. As a matter of fact, if it wasn't for the Electoral College, I'm not sure we would have another Republican president in my lifetime or my children's lifetime. Imagine a political movement that needs to rely on that to win.